Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Mary. So in today's video, I want to sit down and talk to you guys about the top 5 best critters to own if you are thinking about getting into the reptile hobby. Now hear me out, this is just going to be based off of my personal experience, my personal preference, just off the animals that I own myself. If you are new here, I got a lot of different animals. I got 2 bearded dragons, some cresties, some pac-man frogs, a bullfrog, a leopard duck. I got a lot here. So let's just say I have a variety, and I want to just sit down and talk to you guys about what I personally think are the top 5 best. Now, before we get into all that, it would mean the world to me if you hit that subscribe button, notification bell, follow me on socials, links are down below, like always. One more thing, if you are thinking about getting an animal, I don't care if it's a goldfish or a tegu, I really want you to sit down and think if this is going to be the right move, because at the end of the day, it is a life and they need you. Are you going to be able to financially afford them, be able to give them their UVB, their heat lamps, those just keep going up in price? Are you going to be able to make it to go get their feeders? Are you going to be able to give them the time, spot clean them, take them to the vet? There is a whole lot of responsibility. Even though to you it might just seem like just a frog, it's not just a frog. It's a life, and you're taking on the responsibility. They need you. So that's going to be my end of my little lecture. I do have a lot of animals myself, obviously, but let me tell you, I am in this room a lot. Well, let's jump in with number 5. I'm going to start from 5 to 1. And I own 2 of these guys personally myself, and that is bearded dragons. I have Mr. Santana. He is a Hypo Zero leatherback bearded dragon. Means he has he's pretty much spikeless, almost all white, and I've had him ever since he was a very small little dragon. He was pricey. And then I have Mr. Norman Bates. He's a giant bearded dragon. I think he's about 6 years old, and I recently got him a couple months ago. And, you know, for people who are thinking about getting a dragon and you don't want to deal with the baby dragon phase, there are so many dragons that need a forever home. It's really cool just skipping the whole baby stage and having Norman. He is super entertaining. Now, Santana is super chill and mellow, while he is a little crazy. So not every bearded dragon is going to have the same personality. I personally enjoy feeding them because they do need fresh green salads and veggies, so that's just fun for me to make them for them every day. But they also require protein, but they can do a variety from crickets to mealworms, so that makes it easy to find. They need their UVB and heat lamp. Oh, and of course, how can I forget, hearing from a Petco employee that, oh, 40 gallon, that's gonna be perfect for a bearded dragon's forever home. Absolutely not. 120 gallon minimum. I love about bearded dragons, especially Mr. Norman, is he likes to get out of his enclosure and he likes to explore a lot. He will, cuddle up, not cuddle, but he'll chill with me. They are kind of a small dog. I mean, this can be an argument. Some people say their bearded dragon shows them affection. I don't think they really can show love. I think they just like the heat of you and can stand you and will be with you. It's not like Norman loves me. I want to go take them out to go get coffee. For the most part, they're really chill and they'll be a good little buddy for you. So that is why I always suggest a bearded dragon, but it's number 5 because of how big of habitats and how much attention you need to give them. Number 4, I just did a video of these guys, and that is the Pac-Man frog. Now, a lot of people say Pac-Man frogs are so boring, but hear me out. They come in beautiful colors, and honestly, they don't want any of your attention. You're not going to be needing to take them out every day. Actually, I highly recommend you don't do that. Some people like to take their Pac-Man frogs out and put them in a tub to eat. I feed all mine in their habitats. A cool critter that doesn't need a lot of space. If you want to give them 100 gallon, they'll use it, but they don't need the height. They're not very active. They're just kind of like a little blob that sits there. They will pee on you. They're very motivated eaters. They'll eat each other. They require like a heating lamp, but I do like to give them UVB, and then you give them a heat mat underneath. You need a thermostat. So I mean, even though this sounds like very low maintenance, at the end of the day, I think, you know, you get your Pac-Man frog with everything, with the enclosure. If you're gonna do a bioactive, I'm gonna say that's gonna be like $400 later, maybe even more, because I think these ones are like maybe $200. So even though it's just a small little guy, it adds up. And also, people don't realize this. Pac-Man frogs need protein. So some people are not okay with getting a frozen thawed pinky or a live pinky. Some people are just not okay with that. For me, it really helped me like get over that fear and be able to like move on and to own a snake and feed my snake, you know, a rat. So not everybody likes the pinky idea, but they gotta eat. They also can eat other variety of bugs as well. Like I said, I own 3, and my biggest one, Kanye, doesn't burrow as much as he used to when he was little, but for the longest time, my little guys would burrow deep in their substrate, and you rarely see them unless you like had to pull them out or they pop up for food. So some people don't like the fact that they burrow a lot and you can't see them, but for me, I love them. Low maintenance, beautiful colors. They do make a little barking sound from time to time, but nothing crazy. Hop to number 3, and I own 2 of these guys myself, and that is a crested gecko. Crested gecko was my 3rd pet that I got, and it took me a little bit, you know, to be okay with it, you know, hopping, or just if I had it in my hand to realize that it could like scatter off and hide behind another enclosure. It'd take forever for me to get it. So crested geckos are so freaking cute, but they're fast. They are fast. Lola, like I said, for 6 years now, and one thing great about crested geckos is they do have a long lifespan. I also have Buddha, and he's like 2 now. But one kind of negative thing that can kind of like throw you off if you're not used to it is the fact that they drop their tails, and they drop them pretty easily if they get scared or spooked enough. It's a defense mechanism in the wild, but yeah, I don't know. It's not like the greatest thing to see. It's kind of sad. It doesn't hurt them or anything, but Lola actually still has her tail throughout these years. She's been pretty mellow. And then my Buddha dropped his tail like when I got him as just a little cresty. I think I scared him. Love the fact that I can do some really gorgeous bioactive habitats with them. I think that's what started me into getting into bioactive, was with my crested gecko. They come in crazy morphs. You've probably seen the super spotted Dalmatians. They come in a lot of different prices. I feel like now at the expos, that's like the majority of what I see are crested geckos. But they're a really fun critter. They are nocturnal, so you're not going to see them during the day. If you are, you know, a morning person, don't expect to see them. People say crested geckos don't eat bugs, but I like to offer them some crickets every once in a while. But for the most part, they just eat their Pangea like smoothie, just water and powder form. So that is why a lot of people like crested geckos, because you're not going to have like a bunch of crickets all the time in your house. From time to time, you can throw some in there for them, but people like the fact that you don't have to keep insects. I just don't know how anybody can tell me that they're not cute. We're on number 2, and she is a reason why I think I became so in love with amphibians, and that is bullfrogs. Miss Princess herself. I mean, who doesn't love a big, cute, giant toad? Now, I've had Princess ever since she was very tiny. They called her a pixie frog then. And now she is very, very big. Since she is a female, she doesn't make like crazy noise like a male would, but she is still really entertaining. Okay, so frogs, they don't need your attention. Like, you don't need to take Princess out for a walk, you know? But she does need her water, so it's fun to watch her in her big pool and swimming. And I also do have like a bioactive habitat for her. She eats crazy. She launches at me when I walk by her habitat. She'll eat anything I put in front of her. She even does like small little mice. So Great eater. Some people love the fact that they make sounds. I mean, I do. I just unfortunately got a female. My white tree frogs croak like crazy all the time, but she is just gorgeous. I mean, she's a fun, huge, big toad. She's more of like an animal, just for like a display animal in a way, because I don't hold her, but anytime anybody comes into my room, they're like, oh my god, that frog is amazing. She doesn't require a lot of my attention. I do offer her UVB, and she does have a big habitat. That's my personal choice because I wanted to make sure she had a big water section. So she's in a 4x2x2 all glass with deep substrate because they will burrow from time to time. But I just love watching her chill in her little pool. So I think they're probably hard to find, like a full grown one. I'm sure like on an expo you can, but they will get pricey. But pixie frogs aren't that hard to find. Gotta take good care of them so they can grow big. So here we are at number 1. And you know, a few years ago I wouldn't like see this, but I truly would recommend this critter. And that is a ball python. Now I've owned Mr. Fleetwood for almost 4 years now, ever since he was very, very tiny, and he has been such a pleasure to own. Now I'm sure some of you guys are wondering if like he's such a pleasure to own, why do I not have more? Well, it's because they require a lot of space. Now I think everybody typically thinks they'll get a 40-gallon, they'll live in there forever. I mean, we can argue about that all day, but for me personally, I like to give my pets the most space possible. Now with that, I have to make sure his humidity is all good, temperatures, that way he can shed properly, eat well, go to the bathroom. And I haven't had any problems with that. One thing about Fleetwood is that he doesn't require a lot of my attention. I don't have to feed him every single day. I do spot check him, and I do offer him UVB and a heat pad. But for the most part, he doesn't ask a lot of me. And just the fact that he is so gentle, he is mellow. Now, some people ask me like, what about a corn snake? Are they better than a ball python? Forget the corn snake. I love corn snakes. I have one of my own, but I'm never gonna get another corn snake. I mean, she's great, but like, she's a great eater, but like, I just can't sit there, and she just flails all over me, and her poops are very messy, and she's gorgeous, but I don't know. I mean, some people like that wild, crazy, can't sit still type of snake, but for me personally, I just like to chill with Mr. Fleetwood. Never tried to, actually, I lie. He did bite me once, but it was totally my fault. I was feeding him and he was a very tiny snake, and I put my fingers into. So other than that one time, that was the only time he nipped at me and it didn't hurt at all. He is nocturnal, so don't expect to see him out during the day. But yeah, that is why I suggest ball python. You know, maybe one of these days I will get a couple more. I just need some more space and money to buy big habitats. But yeah, comment down below if you own any of these pets and which one you would recommend. Comment down below if you're thinking about getting a pet, and if you do get one, let me know. If you are new to my channel, it would mean the world to me if you hit that subscribe button, notification bell, follow me on socials. Links are down below, like always, and until next time, I will see you guys.